Um, I'm Laurent Mermet from IBM France. I'm partner technical specialist and I work on Power Science 24 years. And we work with Remy to create a demonstration about um, the easy way to work with Power, Linux, IBMI, and say it's possible to have two worlds to work together, and it's possible to use Power as a very, very good platform to make this job. So we have used in our showroom in France, we have a P9. So with the P9, we have two VIOS. On the left side, you have the VIOS 01. On the right side, you have the VIOS 02. And in the Power, you have a component, hypervisor, who provide the capability to virtualize all resources, processor, memory, and adapters, and network. So we have used this capability to provide an internal network. So each VIOS can have a connection to the outside with external VLAN. So one with 1 gigabyte bandwidth and one with 10 gigabyte bandwidth. And we have created between the two VIOS on through the capability of the hypervisor to virtualize network, an internal VLAN between the VIOS and the different partition of the P9. So each partition, we have a Linux, so it's a Rocky Linux, who have two interface, one interface to go on the external VLAN and one interface to go on the internal VLAN. And we have an IBMI partition. This IBMI partition has two interfaces, one interface to the external VLAN and one interface to the internal VLAN. And to go forward in the demonstration, we have created a Linux partition hosted by the IBMI partition. So in the IBMI partition, you have a very small Linux partition hosted by the IBMI, and it's also a Rocky Linux, but it's a very base Rocky Linux. It's 5 gigabyte storage and 1 gigabyte memory and 0.1 processor unit. The Linux on the left side, it's standalone partition with Rocky, but it's a 0.1 CPU processor and 4 gigabyte memory, but it have 50 gigabyte of storage. So it's the biggest one because we have made the first test on this partition. On each partition, we have created two containers. One container with the website with all information for the booking concert, and one container with the scanner for QR code to validate that the ticket is okay and you can go in the concert. And it's also the same container in the small Linux partition. So to explain, when a customer want to connect to the website, there is a connection through the internal VLAN to the IBMI partition with the internet connector. So the customer can create, book some ticket concert, different ticket, and have a result. When the customer go on the concert, at the entry, one people can check if the ticket is okay. So with a phone or a QR code scanner, you can check the QR code of the ticket. So another request sent to the IBMI partition. It's a real time. The IBMI partition responds to go to the first container for the website to check if it's okay. If the customer want to go in the concert with the same ticket and we make another control, IBMI can check in real time if the ticket is already used and send an information to the website to say, no, it's not possible. So all communication, so the container and the website are exposed on the internet. but the IBMI partition is not exposed on internet. In this case, we have the same IP range because we are in our showroom, but we can have an IBMI partition in other range, not connected in the same range like the Linux partition. The link between the two partitions, IBMI and the Linux partition, is done by the internal network. So you can have only a website or your scanner in DMZ and your IBMI partition in your data center. And when you are in the container, you cannot go through the IP to the IBMI partition because the container doesn't show this IP. It's only the NTI connector who have the IP and the name and the password of the user to connect to the IBMI partition. And the user has only small right to work in the partition, right to create to create an information, to update or delete. It's only to work on the IBM file for this application. The user cannot go on other library, on other or in the system. It's very limited. So it's very interesting to have security with this solution. So we're going to the demonstration. So you can show in my HMC, we have the two partitions. So it's the biggest Linux, you have 0.1 processor and only 4 GB memory. And the smallest is 0.1 processor, but it's only 1 GB memory. After we can show that container doesn't use two memory in the system. It's very, very small. So we have an interface to connect to the website. And here I have I have all the concert. So I can make a new reservation for a concert. I can put my name or
Just to be clear, I can't sing.
up. So now I have booked 2 new tickets. See, if I go in my reservation, now I can see, where is it? Yeah. I have created this ticket. So I have new ticket and I have QR code. I can have different booking reservation in this website. So now, if I'm at the entry of the concert, sorry for my English, nobody's perfect. I'm going to share my phone screen. So, yes, it's okay. So in my browser, I have directly the IP of the container. So it asks me, it's secure. We have created a container, and to connect to the container, you need to have a certificate. So it's secure. It's a HTTPS protocol. So I need to allow my webcam to be used from the iPhone. Now you can see I have my iPhone connected. And I have printing my ticket, and now I'm going to scan my ticket. If I go with my phone on the QR code, you can see on the phone that ticket has been scanned. Now I can refresh my database and I can see that 3 tickets are correctly scanned, but 1 ticket is not scanned. So I can now scan again. And I can check, up, my ticket is okay. I have another concert if I want. I can also scan other ticket. And if I check in my database, I have scanned only 2 tickets from this information. So my system say, okay, you can go in the concert. But now, if I want to use the same ticket and I scan again the ticket, my phone say the ticket is already scanned. You cannot use again. But if you want, you can make some noise or other information to say it's not good to go. It's very interesting. So the container talk in real time with the IBM I partition, and with the website is also another container have the information in real time. I can make some modification if I want, and I have also another container linked to the same partition. It's the smallest Linux partition. And the two containers are linked to the same IBM I database. So if I made a new scan, I'm going to check the right ticket. And if I make a refresh, we are linked to the same IBM I database. In IBM I found, yes, yeah. In IBM I, you don't have subsystem, you don't have specific program. It's agnostic from IBM I version. It's very interesting because you can use NTI from 7.1 to 7.5. It's not a problem because you have only one library with one file to have the key of the product. It's also the information you have. All the information you need to connect, it's only the connector between the .NET and IBM I. But in IBM I, you have no information. I can go to my, I have all the file. It's only a file to have information. And if I want, I can go, sorry, up. Rémi, it's 18.
18, ouais.
Yes. So for each concert, you can find information. So it's a DB2 file, but you have the information stored in the IBM I, but you can find the same information in the website. Container talk to the IBM I partition to get information. Information are not stored in the website, it's stored in the IBM I. And to finish demonstration, we have made a benchmark tab to show that it's very interesting to use internal network. Why? Because with the power and the internal the hypervisor, you can have an internal network, and this internal network don't go outside. You work only in the hypervisor. So the Linux partition talk to the IBM partition through the internal network. So I'm going to find, yes, here. No, it's not the right. Yes. So when you make a connection from the outside, you talk with the container on the external IP. But when we launch the NTI connector to the IBM partition, we use the internal IP. So each time when you want to talk to between the Linux and the IBM I partition, we use only the internal network. So we have an internal network to 10 gigabytes. So it's very efficient to make some connection. And we can show here that in here in 7 seconds we have created 10,000 requests, 10,000 line in the database. So it's very interesting. And we have the same thing with the smallest partition. and this Linux is embedded in the IBMI partition. So for a customer who have a very small configuration, it's possible to create with virtualization a Linux partition embedded in the IBMI, and you can have the same configuration. You can create with a .NET website or other thing, and you can talk to your IBMI partition. So for a customer who want to send to the trash his IBMI and say, no, I want to go to the SQL Server or Oracle Server, it's not interesting, because with NTI you can link together .NET and x86 world with the IBMI. So it's very interesting. And you can show that we have the same time between the two Linux partition. It's approximately the same time. But we have made the same test with external connection, and we lose some between 15 and 20% of time with external connection. So it's very interesting to use internal connection to talk between partition. So I have finished.
Thank you, Laurent, for this demonstration. So this very simple use case highlighted the fact that with NTI, you can develop very easily .NET IBMI applications, and you can then deploy it as easily because you don't need to install anything on the server. NTI is fully version agnostic and platform agnostic. It can run in containers, it can run on Linux, even on IBMI directly with the mono runtime in Pace. So you just need to develop once on your laptop, and then you can publish your application wherever you want, depending on the load, depending on the if you want to scale your application, scale up, scale down. You can use any techniques to deploy applications. And one of the key benefits from being a native .NET provider is that all the memory, CPU, and physical resources of the machine are efficiently managed by .NET because .NET is very good at managing all the memory, all the resources, and NTI, as Laurent showed with the CPU usage of the containers and the small size of the containers, is very memory efficient and requires not that much memory to run. It can be scaled very easily. And yeah, here it was a very simple database access use case, but it can be more complex with more specific IBMI stuff like programs or CL commands, and it runs just fine wherever you want. For instance, we are working here in France with a cybersecurity software editor in IBMI, and he's using NTI as embedded in his solution to access very specific IBMI stuff like programs and commands, and it's working really fine. For the end user, it's really easy and convenient to install because there is no ODBC driver, nothing to install on the machine. It's fully platform agnostic and yeah, plug and play. So yes, and also on the performance aspect, we did some benchmarks, and NTI is 30% faster than ODBC on basic database access. So it's a huge improvement for user experience and the whole quality of service of your applications. So that was it for NTI. If you have any question, please put them in the chat, and it will be a pleasure to answer them. Thank you, Paul.
No, thank you, Remy and Laurent. That was a great use case to share, and I think, as you say, to see the performance benefits coming through because you're not using ODBC drivers, and because you move that front end application closer to the data on IBMI, and you're using Power VM internal networks to increase security too.
And just Excuse me, just one more aspect of .NET and why we developed NTI, because it's really important. We chose to develop a native provider because that's the way to go today. Microsoft is doing it for SQL Server. Postgre has a native .NET provider, but the IBMI does not. There is nothing that does not rely on unmanaged code or on native machine code, so like DLL or stuff, binaries like that, compiled for the platform. There is no other solution than NTI that are fully native to .NET, and that's a big improvement for your overall stability and application quality of service. So yeah, that's one of the benefits of .NET. That's this managed code and CPU memory usage. That's really interesting, and porting .NET to Power is a big step forward for IBM, because a lot of clients are loving .NET for these benefits.
That's great. Thanks very much again, Remy, and
Thanks.
Laurent.